Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn about a new chapter. It is called Enterprise Resource Planning. So, if you all remember your e commerce chapter, in that, what happened is technology was used for commerce purpose and it becomes e commerce. Okay, same way here in this chapter information technology is being applied to an enterprise. Now we will understand each of these terms first. What is an enterprise? What is resource? And what is planning? So, what is an enterprise? Enterprise is a group of people and other resources that are coming together, okay, and that have a common goal. They are working together towards a common goal, okay. So, enterprise is one single entity, okay. Within that, there are different units that are performing different functions or operations. So, for instance, even in our Father Agnell's college, even in our Father Agnell's school and college, there will be teaching staff, okay, they will perform a different function. There will be administration staff, they will perform a different function. There will be a management staff, they will perform a different function. So, all of these people are coming together, but they have a common goal, that is education, providing good quality education, okay. Same way for a company, in a company that is producing and manufacturing products, okay, there are different operations that are happening. So each of these operations are taken up by a different unit. There will be a unit of planning, there will be a unit of manufacturing the product, a finance unit, okay, a production unit will be there. After that, the distribution will take place, sales will happen. So different departments are there within a company, within an enterprise, and all of them are working towards a common goal. Okay, so this is an enterprise. Now what is resources? Okay, resources are not just the requirements or the materials that are needed to for a given product, not just the materials but also men, okay, that means human resources, okay, they also form a part of resources. Then the materials that are needed for producing a given product, all those come under resources. Money, finance is needed, okay, all those come under resources. And machines, the machines needed to produce the given product, or there might be computer systems that are involved in an enterprise. All of these things in combination form resources, okay. Then there is planning. What is planning? Now, planning helps managers, okay, to improve future performance by establishing objectives and selecting a course of action. So, you need to have a goal, okay. An enterprise will need to have a goal, what it intends to do, okay, and then an appropriate plan has to be made which will tell which course of action can be taken so that the enterprise reaches that goal. So that is the planning process, okay. Now here towards your left, if you see, there are different units, okay, different units, different departments in an enterprise. There is a production planning department, there is a finance, there is marketing, human resources, production, sales, and distribution. Now, imagine if all of these are working in a different compartment. So, the production and planning don't know what is happening in the HR. HR doesn't know what is happening in the finance. Finance doesn't know what is happening in the sales and distribution. Then, how will the communication happen? How will they reach the common goal that they intend to achieve? It's not possible. Yeah. So now what is to be done is, if you see on the right side, okay, here there is a central database that comes into play. Okay, this is possible by the ERP software, the enterprise resource planning software. So what happens here, there's a central database that is getting connected to each of the departments. Okay, so the finance department knows when the sales are happening and they can perform the payment. Okay, same way, the production department knows what is the forecast of the sales and how the marketing will take place. Okay, this helps an enterprise to reach a common goal. So, in conceptually, what is ERP doing? It is replacing this old standalone computer systems, which is like each of these departments may have had their own computer system, but that is not enough. Okay, what it is going to do is it is going to replace that standalone computer system, standalone concept into an integrated single software. Okay, now what the software will do is it will have different functional modules. Okay, different functions are being performed by each of the departments, hence they need a different functional module. Okay, and there are employees in any department can get the required information related to the activities, related to their respective activities. And so the example that is given here is the finance department can then know while using ERP that the sales order has been shipped, and the finance department will know when the payment needs to be done. Okay, so now we will understand what are the different functional units of ERP. Okay, what are the different functions, what each of these units are performing towards that common goal. First is your finance module. Okay, you all must be aware of these financial reports. In your BK lecture also, you must be already aware since you have been doing bookkeeping. So there's balance sheet, general ledger, trial balance, all the financial statements is handled by this module. Okay, all the accountings, okay, what investment, where the enterprise has invested, where the enterprise has put in their money. All this comes under the finance module. Next is manufacturing module. Now, manufacturing, although it is done by specific machines, maybe the products is produced by a specific machine, yet the software, what it does is it provides better solutions. Okay, it can provide better solutions keeping the business perspective in mind. So that is the manufacturing module. It is combining technology and business. The next, okay, yeah, the next module is production planning module. Okay, in here what happens is it identifies, okay, this module is identifying what are the materials required, okay, and what will be the proper phase for producing the product. Like for instance, it is performing a sales forecast. Something, there is something called as summer sales, there is something called as winter sales. There are some products that are that don't belong to these seasonal changes. So all this comes under sales forecast. What is happening in the market? What is trending in the market? All these happens in the sale forecast. So all this information about forecasting and sales data, okay, is taken care by the production planning module. Then there was something as called as the HR module, human resources module. There are many people who are working in the company, okay, so their employees personal information needs to be stored. They also need to know what is the salary, how is the performance, if they have been promoted the salary needs to change. So all this comes under human resource module. Next is your inventory control module, which tells the enterprise what products are available, what is stocked up and kept, and what stock is getting over and what stock has got over. So that is an inventory management, okay, inventory control module, because it should not happen that a customer buys a certain product and then the stock has got over and the payment has been done. Okay, so that is the inventory control module. Next is the purchasing module. Okay, purchasing module takes care of the purchase order, evaluating what the supplier has provided and the billing. So everything related to the purchase order is taken care in the purchasing module. Okay, this also works very closely with the inventory and the finance and the production planning module, because even the production planning module needs to know how the purchase is happening. Okay, finance department needs to know when the payment has been processed, and inventory needs to know whether the stock is there or no. Okay, so this is working very closely with all these modules. Next is the marketing module. Okay, marketing module is used for monitoring and tracking customer records, customer orders, okay, increase in the customer satisfaction and eliminating credit risk. So brand awareness, the product awareness, all this comes under the marketing module. Okay, it has to ensure that the customer are satisfied and reduce if there is any credit risk. Next is our sales and distribution module. Now what happens here is the sales are happening, okay, so there is order placement. How will the sales happen? Only when the order has been placed, okay, then it has to take care how this order is being scheduled, what is the how it has been, whether the order has been dispatched, whether the product has been dispatched. Okay, and invoicing is another term for billing. So all this comes under sales and distribution module. Okay, sales is selling of the product, and then distribution will have making the product available to the customer. So dispatching comes under distribution. Next point is quality management module. Now here what happens is we want to ensure that the product that is being created is of good quality. So again, quality planning, inspection and control. Everything that is related to the quality of the product comes into this. Here, there are highly expensive professionals that are appointed to have a good quality check on the product. So this is the quality management module of the ERP. Okay, now we will see the enterprise ERP and related technologies. One second. Okay, so ERP related technologies. Till now, we have seen what ERP is all about and how it has the different functional modules within it. Now, what happens? There are other related technologies, okay, that can improve the performance of the enterprise. Okay, now these related technologies we are going to see one by one. Okay, so the first one is product life cycle management. Now, what happens in this technology? It is going to manage the entire life cycle of the product. Now, we'll see this. If you see this life cycle here, there is an introduction of the product. So, the first time the product is brought into the market, it is the introduction. Okay. Next comes the growth phase. That means people buy the product, they tell other people, and then other people buy the product. Okay, so there is an increase in the number of sales, that is the growth phase. Then comes maturity. Okay, which means the product is available, the sales is happening, there is no growth, there is a stagnation in the graph of sales. Stagnation means it's going in some line, maybe it's not showing a very high spike or anything, it's going in a straight line, the graph of sales. Okay, then comes the decline of the product, which means a competitor could have brought in another product. Okay, a competitor brings in another product, and this particular product then declines in its life cycle. So all of this tells the enterprise how the product is doing in the market. Okay, this is one of the related technologies. The next one is management information system. So there are three components as given in the name. There are three components in this technology. One is the management, who is also the decision maker. Okay. Next one is information. So what is information? The data has been collected, but process data that provides meaning to it is information. Next is system. The system is the holistic view, a whole view of the enterprise. So that is management information system. Now what happens in this management information system? It is used by the different employees. We saw the different modules. So it is used by different employees for their purposes. So data is stored in this MIS. It is processed in a centralized database, and then this can give us any type of report. Okay, it can generate reports and give us the required information that we are looking for. Suppose the production department wants to know how the sales will be done, how the sales is going, the MIS can provide us with that. Next is supply chain management. Okay, this is the third technology. What happens here is supply chain management. It monitors all the activities, okay, that are required from moving the goods from the supplier to the customer. And these are software packages for managing the activities in the supply chain. So first there is the raw materials, okay, that is moving in to the supplier, then it is being manufactured, then the distribution has to happen, then it has to go to the customer. Customer could be a retailer. Okay, for a supplier, a customer can also be a retailer, and then it's finally going to the consumer. Okay, so this entire thing, this process of being able to supply the product to the consumer comes under supply chain management. Next is customer relationship management. Okay, once the sales has taken place, it is just not enough that we leave our customers. We have to have our relationships with our customers. Okay, we have to ensure that they are happy, and we have to ensure that they come back and buy the product again. So the first part is marketing. Marketing means you're making your product aware to the customer. The customer needs to know about your product. Next is sales. The customer buys your product, okay, and becomes a customer. The user buys the product and becomes a customer via sales. Then comes the feedback process. The feedback could be positive, the feedback could be negative, but it has to be handled, okay, by the CRM. Then comes support. In case of any issues, in case of any queries, there is a support system that is needed for this customer and enterprise relationship. And also there needs to be maintained customer privacy. Their information has to not be leaked out, and if the data is being sent from the client system to the server, there has to be data security that is to be ensured. All this is taken care by the client relationship management. Then comes the technology decision support system. Okay, what happens in here is it is taking certain input. This system, it has been given certain input. It has a database, okay, and it has a software, and this system aids in decision making. Okay, it analyzes what are the possibilities of this scenario based on the statistics and the data, the past data that have been provided. It can tell the managers about the pros and cons of all the possible situations. Okay, so this is the decision support system. It is interactive and computer based system that aid users in judgment and choice activities. Okay, so these are the topics that are excluded from your ERP chapter. You can make a note out of it. 6.9 has been excluded and 6.11. Okay, we are going to see about ERP and the internet. Okay, so this new trend, okay, it involves making the software available to the client companies via the internet. Okay, so if you remember the client server architecture that we had done in the first chapter of your 11th standard, okay, so the server, it contains this ERP system has been installed there. Okay, so the server will have the software, okay, and the client, okay, the client as the end user, okay, will be able to access this software from the server. Now let us try to understand what is the role of internet here. Okay, now there's something called as cloud computing. What is happening is it is possible that the certain hardware or software facility is not physically present in your system. Okay, it is not physically present in your system. What you do is, as an enterprise, you are accessing certain storage facility, you are accessing certain computing facility over the internet. Okay, so that cloud is a reference of a space over the internet. Okay, so as an enterprise, when an enterprise is looking for a certain economical solution, what they do is they may or may not have a certain storage capacity. If they want to access this storage capacity via the cloud, they pay as and when they access this storage facility. Okay, same way for any other computing power, same way for using any other service. Okay, they will pay as and when they are using this facility. So what happens, all these facilities are then available over the internet in terms of cloud computing. Okay, so that is cloud. Now when we say on premise ERP, what we are referring is ERP's functionalities, software, hardware, it is available within the enterprise. Okay, ERP on cloud is when the enterprise is accessing certain functionalities or storage facilities via cloud over the internet. And hybrid ERP means that it becomes a combination of on premise and on cloud. That means certain facilities are available on premise physically within the enterprise, and certain functionalities they are accessing on cloud. So there is a term called software as a service. So what happens is the software is installed over the cloud, okay, over the internet, and the enterprise can then access its functionalities as the end user. Okay, so these are the benefits of ERP. Now, explanation for these benefits are given in your textbook. Is it easily understandable? So just go through it, and you should know at least four of these benefits for your 2 marks. Next is future of ERP. So the terms mentioned here are artificial intelligence. Okay, now as human beings, we are blessed with natural intelligence. Okay, we adapt to our surroundings and we are blessed with a natural intelligence. The computers, on the other hand, is now not just, it is not a system that is only working with the human intelligence. Okay, it is becoming intelligent system. So this is called as artificial intelligence. Okay, which is like a made up intelligence. Okay, so the computer is now aiding into decision making. It is trying to see the forecast of sale. It is trying to help the management in how to make decisions depending on what are the possibilities of the situations that can happen. Okay, so all this is becoming part of artificial intelligence. Next is machine learning. So computers, they work, the software, it is being programmed by human beings. Okay, but now with the advancement in technology, what is happening is the machine by itself is learning to program itself. Okay, it is adapting, it is advancing by the data it receives, and it learns by itself. Okay, so this is a machine learning, a new concept that has come up, and it is going to revolutionize ERP. Next one is embedded business intelligence, that is analyzing the situation and data management. And the last one is sensors. Okay, sensors and external systems or devices. So what it means is not every time human intervention will be required. Sensors could be placed, like inventory management and all. Some sensors can be used. They can immediately tell this software that, listen, this stock is getting over. Now this much is only available, this stock is getting over. So the human intervention will not be required. This is one of the examples. So these are the future of the ERP. With that, we will end the ERP chapter. Go through your textbook. Thank you very much.